Hello and welcome back to the Season 2 of the North American Strikers League. We have Winterfall versus GOAT for you now, ready with a certain player who was occupied a little bit, but FemBison, this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I agree. I think while on paper Winterfell has a slightly stronger roster, Goats does have the X factor of Fudgy Waffles being incredibly good in the midfield.
And I gotta say though,
Mm.
the Winterfall has an X factor of their own. They are pulling in Fiery from
Again!
the PP Legends, so Fiery is quite good, I gotta say.
Yeah, he
Definitely,
is quite good. Having recently lost the PPL, can speak firsthand. Fiery is very good at the scoring thing. We will see. I mean, he also played very well in last week's series. I don't remember who it was Winterfall against Orbits. He played very well there. And so we'll see if he can continue that kind of performance in this Tier 1 league despite being a Tier 2 player, though I have no doubts that he will.
All right, come on. The Tier 2 player thing has become a bit of a meme at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. Like, Maddie's now saying it. Yeah, Tier 2 goalie, by the way, every single time.
I know.
A little too much chatting. But speaking of chatting, we are starting. We are getting ready to go into it as the teams seem to be ready here. And apparently, Fudgy Waffles and Daftgrass are already scheduling a bit of a date after this. So,
whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Won't reveal too much of that, but that's some information for anyone who is interested. We're loading in. Will we see Obscura? Gates of Obscura for the first time in the North American Strikers League. This will be a banger.
You say this will be a banger. I only have negative thoughts about this map. I can't stand it, but we will see if these players can play it well. I don't doubt that they can. They get a lot of practice in scrims. They've probably seen it. Of course, the Rune Band is gonna go out. Nobody really wants to see him. Though I am surprised about the Rasmus ban from the side of Goats.
Yeah, I guess they're a little bit concerned about. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe the Rasmus goalie? I heard a little bit of a whispering of a tech where you go across the portal, you throw your hook across the two barriers, and it makes it way easier for your team to push.
Yeah.
But definitely not the ban we expected to see there, but the picks that we definitely expected to see. Dubu, Asher, Aimi all have very powerful Creations era as well, and Creations are king on this map where you can block off the portal, send stuff into the portals, play the lanes generated by the barrier shapes, as we now load in onto the first iteration of this map on the big stage.
Indeed we will, and I think something to note here that we might want to look out for is Fudgy and Apalmi or I guess Albion have incredible synchronicity when they play, and so we'll see if we can get some spiral path splitter plays in these top corners. But right now we're just looking for some basic stuff. Everybody's still level 1. No path splitters or spirals just yet. Great defense there from Kilius, but Fiery immediately showing off his abilities here. Managed to take both away, and now Winterfall with a good scoring opportunity here, just trying to get the core to Fiery if they can, and they do. Though don't seem to be able to capitalize. Just great coordination on the defense here from Albion and Fudgy actually, and it's just going to be a bit of a midfield stall out. But the roll from Daftgrass is a bit unfortunate. Loses the first barrier. Now the path splitter goes out, but does find the second actually. And both flips are out for Fudgy and Apalmi, and they do find the goal in that bottom corner. Goats immediately turn the tables on that.
Yeah, it is a bit of an energy-fueled push as they still have a flip remaining, and this is the power of Catalyst Start. It's going to be wild, it's going to be wacky. Everyone's going to have 3 million energy to play with, as Fiery does as well. Has the path splitter to try and stall Fudgy Waffles out, but gets taken out by Apalmi on the other side. That guy really loves catching people near the wall, I guess. Now it is time for Mystic to try and get a shot, but it is immediately responded to by Kilius, who sends it across the portal. And this portal gameplay might lead to some degenerate stalling back and forth, but not if the midfielders have anything to say about it.
Indeed, and now Apalmi once again with this path splitter trying to put the core through Daftgrass, but great roll there, great patience, manages to stall it out. The defense though strong, anchored by Fudgy, and the offense isn't going to find a way through. But as I say it, Fudgy, the Catalyst Start gets the flip, puts it at just a demonic angle, and Daftgrass is just a little too slow to save it.
Yeah, absolutely demonic angle here. And once again the corner portals reappear. It's all up to whether the teams can play the non-portal side. That lane that is created by the barriers on this map can be quite deadly for the goalies as the goats are approaching that death corner. But as I say that, the only death here is Fudgy Waffles taken out. Killy sending it back and forth, has the flip blocked away by Fiery, who earns a barrier, and now Winterfall are looking to take the goal here as well, but I Love Albion, Apalmi is there, now dribbling forward with full meter, but doesn't pull the trigger yet.
And now he does, but Daftcrash just so patient. Managed to find the clear. It's calm for him. Still has that barrier up. Fiery looking to dribble, set up a shot on Kilius. Can't quite seem to find it. Now staggered on his own. And it's not even Fire who's going to go down. Instead, it's going to be Mystic somehow dying off the side there. And now Fiery still at risk of dying. But Albion seeming to not want to look for this kill. Instead, trying to take this barrier, use that power play opportunity. But Daftcrash manages to stall out both the Death Timer and Fiery's health bar regen.
Yeah, and now Fudgy Waffles has the heater, but Fiery trying to get a goal here, still denied, and Mystic sends it backwards. Daftcrash has to find a push to Fiery, but Fiery is not getting many opportunities here. Now forced away by Kilius. Mystic passes it forward, but it just goes in the portal and skips away from Daftcrash as self-pass comes in from Fudgy, who is sent through the portal by the Summer Assault. Kilius in a sticky situation manages to get out of it still, and once again the defense holds for the Goats.
Yeah, Goat's playing incredible here. Always sort of, even in these situations where their goal is open on a map like this where there's so much space to cover, holding on strong, looking for a chance to turn the tables like they did for the first point. But unfortunately, Fiery gets the flip, and it's just not going to be enough. There's so much area you have to cover, and Fiery knows that. Just pockets it in the top. Now it's 1-2.
Yeah, and now it's a bit more of an interesting game as the meter is high for both Daftcrash and Mystic. Kilius, Fudgy, and Apalmi. Really loving Albion there. Doesn't really have a flip so far, but is approaching it soon as the barriers are even on both sides. The passing play being formed, but so far it is still not successful for the side of the Goats. Fiery trying to jump scare Kilius a little bit with the portal play. Not successful so far as Apalmi is forced to let the flip go as the pass splitter approaches, and yet again Kilius displaying why they're a top goalie in the North American Strikers League after all, and once again holding the barrier with the help of the rest of the Goats.
And now that wall is there, make sure Daftcrash can't just ping pong it back and forth, but finally it expires, and immediately that corner is going right back through a corner portal. That is the name of the game on this map, unfortunately. But now Albion looking for a scoring opportunity of his own. Daftcrash, good patience there, manages to find the clear. But now Fudgy in control of the core, and what a barrier! Beam snipes it through the top corner of that wall, just a little bit too slow. I Love Albion also seems to love scoring.
Yeah. I started the bid, but I'm realizing I'm overusing it, and now that I hear you using it, I'm like, oh, I've messed up. I have caused the spread of chatting onto the desk right now as extra special going to be the pickup. That Happy Star, so valuable to wall off the portals, so much uptime now as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a debate between Primetime and Castellas, right? But Primetime the better deny here. Rapid Fire we picked up anyway, and no Castellas users really means that that is only barely picked up by Mystic. A little bit surprising because it barely helps the turret duration, but on a map like this, the creation itself is just so valuable that I can see it.
I'm also surprised that Fudgy didn't opt to put Fiery out of the game permanently with that Castellas, but Primetime still does let him do something similar, so we'll see if that will be the case. Now, though, that Era Spiral instead takes a barrier out of the game for the side of Goats Esports, now looking for number 2. Fudgy can't quite seem to get it, loses control of the core, and Fiery's going to capitalize off that small opportunity and somehow survive, but finally, it's actually going to be the Bewitching Beam that takes Fiery off of the court.
Yeah, now it is Mystic and Daftcrash trying to put up a defense, mounting a little bit of offense as well, stalling out the entire death timer, and despite the flips of the Goats Esports existing, none will be required for that barrier to go down, and the goal is looked for by Fudgy Waffles, the patience of a god right now, and that's the first goal in this set for the Goats.
Yeah. Goats themselves looking in top form right now. Kilius had a bit of a slip up in the first point, but immediately he's been playing, holding it down incredibly well. These wall plays have been incredible, getting it through these portals, finding these barriers, and once again trying to pass through the portal here. Can't seem to get an offensive opportunity started, but Albion instead doing it himself, gets that first barrier. The flip barely misses from Daftgrass in the portal there. Achilles with the flip of his own barely stops it next to the barrier. And now Fiery actually going to lose it as Apalmi finds that barrier and opens up the goal for the side of Goats.
Yeah, takes out Daftgrass in the process, and now this open goal needs to be defended by the two forwards. Mystic has flip, sends it away, but Fudgy Waffles has the strike, completely reads Mystic, and the Goats are running away with this one.
Indeed they are. And now, I mean, honestly, West Coast looking strong in these last two series, I have to say. First, it was Demon Draw looking in top form. Now, Goats Esports making no mistakes. And as I say it, Fudgy actually going to go down. I spoke too soon. Caster's cursed him as Mystic and Fiery find that KO off the side. Now, with the power play opportunity of their own, Fiery does have to flip that turret. Looks for the second one, but the lingering barrier hitbox actually shoves it out. Bit unfortunate there. And now Daftgrass just trying to start up the offense one more time. That wall is going to go out, block off access to that portal a little bit. The pass splitter goes out from Fiery. The barrier beam does find the barrier itself, and Goats now finally on the back foot in this set.
Yeah, but their pressure is immaculate here. The pass splitter and the Tofu Fortress layer to create an impenetrable wall that Daftgrass cannot get it through. And I Love Albion really loves scoring, really loves the bottom corner. I can't resist as the Goats are looking for this clean sweep.
You can't get on me on cast for saying that. That's so good, I have to say. Oh my god. Okay, and now looking at this draft, I don't think anything super impactful, though we do see that orb dance, and we'll see if any goalie opts to pick that up. Fudgy does get the stacks. He's been controlling the core well. He's been controlling the pace of the game well. Honestly, good spirals,
wait,
good beams.
tempo swing drops.
What?
The tempo swing drops past Fiery. I don't know why you would give that up like that, but it just looks like the Goats will just have a very chill time in this one.
I guess so, though. I guess Fiery is looking to reset that barrier beam cooldown, maybe get those extra barrier beams in. It's been so strong in opening up the goal for Kilius. But as I say, what a spiral and what a pad splitter just takes out the health bars of two members for on Winterfall, and they find a kill for one. Mystic probably going to go down soon if he doesn't use this flip, forced to use it so he can survive. And immediately right after, Albion is going to find this kill. And now it's just Daftgrass 1v3 with a great patience there. Managed to sell out one death timer, and Mystic's up in 5. Can they do 2? It looks like they will. Great play from Daftgrass there. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Goats not quite connecting as well, so Daftgrass is up, but Fiery is being taken down. The tempo swing on the Asher means basically unlimited damage, and now Fiery will have to use the flip before they are taken out, as the entire side of the Goats did look for that KO, but realized maybe it's just better to settle for the goal instead.
Find the goal they do. Now Fiery does have the flip though, but there is something to be said about that Asher path splitter damage with tempo swing hitting so many times, just completely removing your health bar. And Fiery looks to make a play with the flip, but can't quite find it. The path splitter there stops the offense in its tracks. Good defensive use there from the Hallman. Oh, sorry. And now Fudgy almost goes off the side, manages to survive, looking to get himself back into play, but midfield kind of doesn't exist when the corner portals are up. Finally, though, manages to push it away from the portal, and as I say it, just goes off the map. Fiery capitalizing there. And now the flip forced from Kilius. Great turret there from Mystic. It looks like they were able to stall out the death timer, but a lot of resources were used in doing so.
Yeah, the pass splitter, though, almost combos Mystic off the edge. Will have to burn flip to survive there. The health bar looking very, very low, but whoa! Kilius stunned up for eternity as that barrier goes down. I Love Albion is there to defend, though, intercepting the pass that would have been a certain goal, as now Fudgy Waffles finds the hit up, finds the barrier. I Love Albion finds Mystic on the wall, and now it is the Goats once again on offense, looking to make this such a clean sweep. As Fudgy Waffles once again pushing up. The portal is there, but Kilius sends it right through, and Daftgrass slightly misjudging it. It will be capitalized on immediately by I Love Albion.
Indeed. Goats just looking absolutely unstoppable right now on these offensive pushes. As soon as they get a chance, they're able to open up that goal and just start scoring. It's so hard to stop with the Era Spiral and the Path Splitter combo especially, though now it's actually I Love Albion down low on health from Fiery's Path Splitter, but manages to get the orb and stay alive. However, Fudgy cannot stay alive. Instead, He's going to go down, and it's 2v3 here. Great flip from Fire. He manages to steal it away from Kilius, though unfortunately picks a barrier of his own. Albion looking for an opportunity to start an offense up as Fudgy comes back into the fold. Does get the beam on Fire. Fire's going to be out of commission for a second. Kilius now walking forward a little bit, and the spiral is so good, but great wall from Daftgrass manages to hold on to that barrier.
Yeah, the tornado, the magical maelstrom just absolutely putting on so much pressure, but it is still defended by Winterfall. They hold, Kilius also holds that barrier, as these last barriers are a little bit stubborn. They're staying up, but Fiery's health bar is going down as we speak. But the Goats have already stopped focusing on that. They've started sending it to the other side. Now the portals are starting to become active, and one finally activates in time for Daftgrass to get the clear away. The flip gets the KO onto Fudgy Waffles. It is still saved, and the barrier taken on the other side. And now Winterfall with that KO, get the flip, are looking ready. The flip is burned, the barrier is down, but the strike up from Daftgrass will catch Kilius off guard, out of position. That's the portal goal that they were looking for.
Indeed. GLaDOS would be proud. Daftgrass thinking with portals there, manages to find that pocket. Now we'll see if they can find this set victory that they so desperately need right now to hold on to this match. Starting off this offense strong, the Tofu Fortress manages to find something, but can't quite find the barrier, and instead it's going to be Apalme finding that first one. The barrier beam goes out, but great stop by Daftgrass. Instead, though, Albion just wins the strike or wins it again, doesn't even need to flip, manages to push it through two people. I love Albion 1v2 for this final goal of the match.
Yeah, I'm surprised the flip, like, the flip was just an extra there, and just fundamentals alone, striking it in the right places, the right times. Goats did not look weak at all there. They absolutely dominated this game, and I don't know what Winterfall can do here. The Fiery sub exists, Daftgrass not able to play up in the midfield due to that, but the Goats are just looking on another level.
Indeed they are. I will say, I think especially the synergy between the spirals and the pass fitters, we saw multiple moments there where health bars were just completely removed for Winterfall, and it's just too much damage to contend with, especially when you have two large moving objects dealing massive knockback as well. Right? So I think that was definitely a good choice there from Fudgy Waffles picking the Era over something like the Imo.
Yeah, the Fudgy Waffles era has seen a lot of play these past few weeks, and for good reason. It synergizes pretty well with the comps they run, the play styles that they play, and it looks good yet again here.
Indeed, indeed. Though I will say Fiery looked pretty good whenever he did get an opportunity. However, just the combination of the pass fitters and the spirals, making sure Mystic was almost always cut off from the play a little bit. Fiery did not get as many opportunities as he would have liked. However, if they can keep giving him that rock in those positions, we've seen what he can do with the core. You know, we've seen him score on incredibly talented goalies, including Kilius himself. So we'll see if Winterfall can make that adjustment in game 2.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, though. The Goats really just locked it down. But
still waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting on the second game. We'll have that ready shortly. But overall, from that game, we're seeing a lot of energy. We're seeing a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Starts. The Catalyst start, the Egoist start, the Catalyst start.
So the Catalyst start definitely much faster than the Egoist start. There is something to be said about that. Flips are coming online incredibly quickly, especially with all the multi-hits on the side of both teams, right? Catalyst giving you 2 meter pretty much every time you get hit, and Pass Splitters hitting you like 10 times. Era Spirals hitting you 10 times. The Imi Turret's going to deck you a couple of times as well. So definitely a lot of core flips went out in that match because of that.
Yeah, and okay. Since we're filling time here, I won't sugarcoat it. You call it the spiral, right? You're the first one I've ever heard call it that, and I think it's kind of nice because it's very compact. Because people say tornado, people say maelstrom. Spiral is like short. I don't know. But Gates of Obscura again. Honestly, Interactive put it on rate up early.
If we're gonna see it in NASL once, we might as well see it twice. I do think this is actually a bit unfortunate for Winterfall. I do think Goats clearly has a lot of practice on the map. Immediately opting to ban out that I love Albion Asher. I'm not surprised. The pass fitter was doing work. The barrier beams were doing work. And the Kazan ban from the side of Goats, they just don't want to get goalie sad.
Yeah, which will leave Fiery with the signature Juliet. Not a huge loss. Palmy
Yeah,
will probably play something like the Juliet or the Zentaro on the other side. And this leaves Rune open for Dapgrass. Rune, pretty solid on this map. Use Pillar, the portal, and what can they do? So...
I think Dapgrass does also have that advantage, right? Being like a triple flex player, there's no doubt in my mind that he's definitely picked up the Rune. He's so versatile. So I was just going to say he might have that over Achilles, but Achilles is proving me wrong, actually.
Yeah, Achilles is a known Rune goalie player.
I didn't know this, actually, so my bad.
Okay, come on, come on.
I've only seen playing Eject and Drek in, like, Dubu recently, okay? In my defense. But I played against him, he was on Eject and Drek. I just haven't been following up.
He has been a Rune goalie player since quite a long time ago, but we'll see if in this Rune showdown who will succeed as Dapgrass own barriers. Well, well,
it's looking a little heads up for Achilles right now, but the corner portal goes through and does find the barrier, loses one of his own, maybe loses two. He does fire a great patience with the dash once there, making sure to time it such that Achilles can't make the save. And now Mystic with the Cyber Swipe and Fiery just gonna... Good pass there from Mystic, and Fiery just finds the angle. Good fundamentals from the side of Winterfall.
Yeah, Fiery in the right place, right in front of the goalie, where you want to be as that Juliet. Doesn't need the cooldown, just strikes it in. Now it is a bit of a Rune battle before bounces back and forth as Kilius trying to get it past, chooses not to send it into the portal as, whoa! I love Albion, loves the wall a little bit too much there. Kilius does get the unstable anomaly there in time. The pillar is there, but Fiery is there as well. The Flame Flurry will take it. Dapgrass warps back to save both barriers. They're still existing here for the side of Winterfall as so far it's looking like Winterfall are looking much better without that Palmy Asher in the way.
I do agree. I think it was just a lot of pressure, but now Fiery putting the pressure on himself, gets the KO with the dash punch and gets the core flip. Fudgy Waffles goes down and the scoreboard goes up for Winterfall. 2-0. They are indeed looking much, much better.
Yeah, and important to note that the Runes have not scaled in with Rune goalies on both sides, and also an Aimee on the side of Winterfall. The creations will be hotly contested, which is not something we say often in terms of the draft, as the pillar will send the core right back through. It's a bit of ping-pong through the portals as Kilius leaves the bottom barrier unattended. Mystic capitalizes on the top side while he's occupied thinking about that loss, and Winterfall will take the first set.
Yeah, I mean, Winterfall looking much, much better right now, finding the weaknesses in Goat's play. Banning out that Asher really was a smart play as well. Now Dapgrass just has so much more room to work with not having Albion just throw path splitters on him constantly.
But wait a second. Timeless Creator Castellast are up, and because Fiery was first picked, the one that has priority here is Kilius. Castellast is still fine, you'll take that, but it is not a Timeless, especially on this map. Rapid also falls down to the Fudgy Waffles era, and lowest of keys. I think this is a draft win for the GOATs.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Also, a 1-2 punch for Albion. As you mentioned earlier, he does love killing off those walls. We'll see if he can find some in this set. That was pretty good luck on the side of Goats. We'll see if they can use it to capitalize. And the great pillar there from Kilius manages to find the barrier as Albion finds a kill immediately, utilizing that 1-2 punch to its fullest effect. Now Kilius is playing patiently, waiting for Fire to commit resources to this offense, see if he can just bait something out. Can't quite seem to bait anything out, but they do manage to stall out this death timer instead. Winterfall does, at least. And now Fiery looking for some real chances to score as Albion actually just takes Mystic off the map. Oh my god, the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and with that striker advantage, can they do something with it as Fudgy Waffles and Palmy are pushing up? He gets the strike after the last hit of the Flame Flurry, but is banished, almost taken off, but will slowly inch their way away from the wall as the striker advantage is reversed for a moment, but the defense is still there, the banish is still there, and the GOATs hold.
Indeed, they do, and the corner portal just bounces it back. Functional map. As Dapgrass now looks to pass through it himself, looks to get a play going. Managed to find the wall. That Timeless Creator definitely playing well, they're forced to use the flip, and finally the flip does actually get the barrier as well. Achilles with one of his own, though, teleports forward, looks to make a play, can't quite find the demon angle, and instead it's going to be Fiery who dash punches into the corner portal on accident. It's a little hard to place those shots sometimes, but great patience there from Daphgas, and what a turn from Mystic! They find this save they can hold. Can Fiery get this goal instead?
Yeah, what a wacky point. Mystic is there as well. Fiery finally catches it before it rockets towards the portal with the Flame Flurry and finds a little bit of a stop amidst the chaos. And yeah, this map is so goofy, especially when the corner portals spawn in overtime. There's a period where they're not portals, they're walls, but the indicator is so confusingly ambiguous that it just feels like it just bounces off and the map is horrible.
Yeah, I learned that lesson myself. Accidentally owned gold in a situation once because of that exact thing you just described. But now, actually going to be Gold's looking to score a goal, and they do as Albion just walks up and Strike Wars Mystic. They took 2 barriers with the creation, set everything up nicely, and just put it in.
Yeah, don't even need to think about portals. Just fundamentals alone finds the gap between 2 players of Winterfall. And now the Goats are looking to try and close it into, try and get a bit of a lead in the second set here. They had a bit more of a favorable draft after all. They need to make the most of it here. The Timeless Rune Pillar defending the barrier for what seems like forever. The Magical Maelstrom almost getting the KO on Daphgrass, but not quite. The defense coming out from Winterfall. But as the pillar falls and that top pillar bounces it back and forth, so many opportunities. Kilius is all the way across the map. A bit of Aragolian going on. I Love Albion in position. Dash punch not quite enough. And a KO on the other side against Fudgy Waffles as Fiery tries to ping pong it into the barrier, is now banished, and Kilius will just send it away.
Indeed, he will. They are going to manage to stall out this death timer for Fudgy. Fiery almost actually manages to get the barrier right beforehand, but the power play opportunity is dead. Not to say the offense is dead, though, as this turret is doing some work. Fiery looking to get something done, but can't quite seem to find a great interruption there. Just from Albion and Fudgy, and Kilius just walks to the portal, core flips, and puts it through. My God, that was a jump scare.
Yeah, absolute jump scare, just peeking his head out. Instantly flip, no hesitation, bottom corner, and how do you react to that one? But Daphgrass probably has taken some notes, has a flip of his own. Mystic is not sugarcoating it, sending it directly forward into one of the barriers as Winterfall looks to even up this set, but so far they can't get past the midfield for the second barrier.
Yeah, I do think this draft is making that difference. The 1-2 punch for Juliet, the timeless pillars for Kilius. It's so hard to push through now, and either one of your forwards is dead or Kilius is just holding it down, throwing out literal walls at this point, right? But they are still finding the opportunities, and just as I say it, Fiery does manage to open the barrier of Goats Esports. Winterfall is not out of this yet. The draft is not going to stop them, and great pillars there just to make sure that Albion has no scoring opportunity. Is going to find a clear. Now Fiery getting one of those opportunities, but great beam from Fudgy Waffles makes sure that he doesn't actually get to use it.
Oh, and Daphgrass barely misses a strike, and the crossfire comes through for the Goats. They take the second set, and despite the 1-2 punch on Fiery, Fiery hasn't really been able to catch people out as much as Winterfall would have wished.
Indeed, he has not. However, we will see if they can use any of the drafts here. Heavy impact, pretty good for the Juliet. Rune might be looking at the extra special, especially Daphgrass.
Oh, the hot shot. You missed it. The hot shot, the best.
Oh, I did miss it. Actually, I might be blind, guys. I'm wearing my glasses, but I might just be blind. Getting the hot shot Rune Pillars is going to give him so much more. My bad. Though, extra spec is picked up by Fiery, and extra spec is picked up by Albion, and Fiery is going to pick up that heavy impact. Does have the 1-2 prize fighter pummelers. This build might be finding some kills very soon.
Yeah, Fiery's looking very scary. It's looking so scary, and Albion already taken off the map as, you know, Kilius does have the twin drive though. More pillars, more timeless pillars, will not be too unhappy with that one, especially when the alternative was hot shot. Well, it's fine. Everything is fine here, and Kilius sending it back, and the main thing is that midfield core control, right? Because so far, the Goats have absolutely dominated it with the Fudgy Waffles era, with Isle of Albion's dribbles, and most importantly, the timeless pillars from Kilius, but all of the barriers are down on both sides. The pillar is there from Kilius, preventing the ping pong back and forth, and Kilius is taken out. Can Fudgy Waffles and a Palmy hold for now? The Maelstrom is there. Fiery is being hit stun to avoid the portal goal, but so far. They managed to hold. The respawn comes down in 0 seconds. It is back. Fiery is there. Fudgy Waffles finds the hit, but it doesn't go into the portal. It bounces off the bottom of the goal directly into the warm embrace of Fiery.
Warm embrace of Fiery, indeed. This guy now has 3 stacks of prize fighter with 1-2 and heavy impact. Everybody on GOAT should be fearing for their lives right now. The great banish from Kilius manages to buy the team some time and start up the offense. Dafras forced to use the flip here. And now Fiery looking for a barrier. Does manage to find one. Albion, though, finding Dafras on the other side of the map. And will probably find the second goal barrier with the double flips up for GOAT's Esports right now. And now they're just looking to score, but Mystic with an incredible cyber swipe managed to stall out this death timer. Great opportunity, great capitalizing on an opportunity there to play the defense, but still Albion scary. Finally forced to use the flip. Mystic, however, now on life support. If he can survive here, then Winterfall might be able to come back into this point, but a great spiral there from Fudgy Waffles is going to put the goal, core in the goal.
Yeah, what a magical maelstrom, completely blocked off the top corner. And I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're a Mystic there. No meter to play with, nothing to do in order to defend that goal. You just have to hope that some kind of pillar magically appears. But as I say that, it looks like even though I Love Albion, even though Apalmi has opted for the ban brace, doesn't have the 1-2, doesn't have the pummelers, doesn't even have the heavy impact, they are the ones getting the more KOs. Like, the GOATs are finding these KOs in crucial moments, creating the power plays, getting the barriers, and once again the Maelstrom comes down, but it is reversed by Fiery, back by Dafras across the portal, getting yet another barrier. Fiery in position, almost has the flip. It is being built up by the Flame Flurry from I Love Albion. The flip comes out from Kilius. Will send it not through the portal, not being predictable here. The Timeless Pillar as well to stall to get the KO with the vanish as well, but so far the barrier still stands on the side of Winterfall.
Indeed, it does. Dafkas mentioned the hold on well there. The Timeless Pillar goes out, though. Not much you can do about scoring on that. Mystic looking for whatever opportunity he can get, but these portals are just making it so hard. So many clear options available for Kilius and Fudgy. But Mystic finally manages to intercept one, and now the offense starting up for Winterfall. If Fiery can get the core here, he can probably put it in the net. And unfortunately, the corner portal, however, gonna stop that opportunity. And what a banish from Kilius. And now, Winterfall, once again, though, still managing to hold on this offense. Fiery almost finds the kill, but it's actually going to be Albion. And this core is going everywhere. So many things are happening right now. And now GOAT's Esports looking to finally open up this goal for Winterfall, but they're holding on well. Great turret from Mystic. Pillars go out from Nafgrass. Nothing is going to go down just yet for the side of Winterfall.
Yeah, and yet another banish stops the push in its tracks, but the flip is here, the barrier is taken, and maybe this is the GOATs taking the lead in this game too, as Fudgy Waffles dribbles around, has the beam as well. It's sent to Kilius with Fiery lurking, but the pillar is there, sends it away, and Fudgy Waffles catches the pass across the side portal, and the GOATs are looking to take this in a 2-0 fashion.
Indeed, they are. It is set point for them. If they can win this, they can get those super important drafts. As you mentioned earlier, Rune really likes to scale. There are still a few things up that Kilius would probably like to have, especially on this map. And as I say, I Love Albion liking to find these kills. As you said, even though Fiery has the build, Albion's the one getting the opportunities. And now, looking to get an opportunity to take this barrier, but great dash from Fiery. Forces one more strike there, but the barrier will go down for the side of Winterfall. Now Fiery looking to take something of his own, though. The turret from Mystic manages to get this clear. It's forcing it into the corner portal, though, so now it doesn't look like they're able to find too much of an offense yet, and that Timeless Pillar proving to be a bit of a problem, but eventually they manage to patience it out and get that bottom barrier as well, and open the goal.
Both barriers are taken now, but the GOATs have proved to be resilient in these situations. Fudgy Waffles picks it up, has the flip available to use, but it goes to Fiery, who finds the angle before Kilius can react. Very, very important point here when it's a 2-2 situation, one set on both sides.
Indeed, this set 3 might win the game. Who knows? We'll see on the carousel either way. But Fudgy Waffles opting for an early flip play, something really aggressive. Can't quite seem to capitalize off that, though. Instead, Mystic is going to put down the turret, looking to get this top barrier from the side without any of the portals on it. The flip goes out, but a great pillar from Kilius is going to hold it down there. And now looking for the self-pass play, does find it, and finally a barrier goes out. But the defense from both teams has been pretty immaculate.
Yeah, but this time Fiery finds the gap in the pillar, sends it right through, and this is looking very, very good for Winterfall here, but they do lose one barrier in the process, almost losing two, but a good pass to Fiery. Fiery trying to set up a bit of a dribbling play, but it might be a bit of a Kaz, as we saw in the Will and Kaz segment. Out of Albion trying to stall it out a little bit, and Fiery finally gets the hit stun onto Kilius, just enough for the goal, and Winterfall are trying to stay alive in the series.
Indeed. Very clutch point for them there, especially for this set. Daftgrass getting the first pick. Unfortunately, nothing that he really wants. However, he does have a few options. If he doesn't want to play for kills with the Rune combo, he could go for the Chrono Boost, though he does have Prize Fighter, so I don't think he will. Instead, opts for the Ponder, gets those cooldowns. Very important for Rune on this map. And Big Fish going to be denied from Alpalme. Makes sense. He's finding all of these kills. Not much for Fiery, though.
Yeah, not really that much for Fiery, but that Orb Ponderer is massive here for Daftgrass. He has the hot shot. He is going to have all his cooldowns back, like basically forever, as long as he can stack it up, because Ponderer is max cooldown. So that hot shot reduction and then Ponderer reduction, he'll have a lot of doors to work with.
Indeed, he will. Not to mention landing those banishes, those casts, that cast to last, getting a Ponder. He will have it up so often, be able to put specifically the important one, Palme, out of the game. Make sure he can't get scored on. Palme currently looking to put Fiery out of the game, staggers him, looking for this kill, standing on him, just throws out the special, but Fiery manages to grab the orb, evade, and actually almost finds the kill on it.
Yeah, but Kilius loses both barriers. Mystic is there in the process, but the double timeless pillars will hold for now. The passes are coming through, intercepted by the goats. Fiery is banished. The pillar hits the core away, but Fiery finds the core. No meter left for Kilius to work with. And Winterfall are trying to close it out here, trying to send us to a third game.
I was just about to say, indeed they are. They really want to take this series home, and they're definitely playing like it. Fiery absolutely capitalizing off those opportunities I mentioned in the after the previous game, where as long as they can give him the core, right, he can absolutely work with it, and he absolutely has been. Now he's getting another opportunity, but actually Apalme is going to be able to catch that just barely, making sure that Fiery isn't allowed to kill just yet. But the Banish is going to go out. The pillar almost finds the KO, but he once again inches away, just like a little bit earlier. And now it's going to be Winterfall on the back foot.
Yeah, and the Ghosts need to capitalize here. They need to even it up, and an amazing shot. No hesitation from Palmy to the bottom side. The score is tied up as the Goats are looking to send this game further, to send this to a fifth set. But will they be able to? Because Daftgrass is continuously scaling with orbs. He's getting more and more powerful in the cooldown department. Has a hot shot as well, but that pillar won't proc it, and maybe this could be a bit of an opening, but Kilius also wastes the secondary for just a moment. Does have Twin Drive, does have two charges, as Fudgy Waffles and Apalme are advancing up the mid field, but Mystic is doing so well in disrupting that.
Indeed he is. Managed to actually just stall out the offense entirely, and now Daftgrass almost walking up looking for the opportunity to use his flip maybe. Mystic uses it instead, gives it to Fiery with an excellent dash punch timing. Almost actually just scores the wall pillar there. Make sure that the corner portal is not going to prove to be a problem for Winterfall. And now Daftgrass probably forced to use the flip here. Does indeed use it. Make sure Palme can't get this last barrier. Trying to keep this goal close for as long as possible so that his team has the offensive advantage. Now Mystic with a great cyber swipe almost just scores it, but Kilius reads the play well, finds the clear.
Yeah, now Daftgrass is forced to defend. I Love Albion gets the barrier, is banished, but will be able to flip. Immediately flips, just like was foretold. Finds the goal, and the Goats are 1 point away from going to a set 5.
Yeah, I think they need to close it out here. If this goes to a game 3, it's anybody's series. But Goats right now still looking strong, even if they're behind. If they can get this set 5, they might be able to just close it out here, as I just said, sorry. And now Fiery actually tries to flip, managed to win the strike board, but Kilius reads it well. However, he is on an open goal. Fiery actually just going to take it, and now it's 0.5 in what could be the final point of the set, no, for the of the match. The terms are so confusing with what Odyssey chooses to call these.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough here, but the runes are still here, the pillars are still here, sending it back and forth across the portals. Big banish comes out, but Mystic blinks in to save Fiery from the pillar, save him from his fate, as now the barriers are still standing because both teams are just defending that they're sending it back and forth across the portals. And so far, Fudgy Waffles finds his way in, but Daftgrass has unlimited cooldowns to work with. And Fiery is there for the KO onto I Love Albion, but the flip is there from Fudgy Waffles. The goal has opened up for the side of the Goats Esports in the favor of Goats Esports. They're looking to make it happen. They defend for now. The Timeless Pillar, so valuable here. One barrier goes down. Fudgy Waffles trying to survive, but Kilius somehow saves the second barrier. Mystic with the flip, but it is still saved by Kilius. Out of Albion sending it through, looking for some kind of play with the Magical Maelstrom, but they're still unable to so far. Bounces off the portal, back across the portal onto the pillar, and it will be Kilius credited with that goal. The Goat send it to us at 5.
Indeed, and now it's going to be scary. If Kilius, now top of the draft, gets anything strong for a rune here, it could be disastrous. And that Monumentalist is looking good, though he might not want to take it because it might stop his pillars from fully forming. But when you have Timeless Monu on some of these portals, nothing is getting through. Instead opts for the prime time. Makes sense, does already have the Timeless. Instead just wants to throw down as many pillars as possible. But now Daftgrass does get the Monumentalist, and his pillars are going to be just as impactful now, finally, after so long in this match.
Yeah, but Catalyst and Monumentalist on the other side is also very scary. Especially the Catalyst. The energy has been a huge deciding factor in this game. You see the quick strikes on Fudgy Waffles as well, and will Mystic or Fudgy be more impactful with their flips? That is honestly, I think, the question that might define the final set.
Indeed, I have to agree here. If Mystic can get these flips cooking, which he has an opportunity now, unfortunately just misses it, and instead both barriers are going to go down for Goats. The pillar goes up, though, finally finds the clear, but he couldn't get that opportunity that you just said he needed. And now Fiery on life support. Apalme looking for this kill, is going to find it. Fudgy Waffles looking to cook in this corner here, has a flip up of his own. If he can just get it in the corner with the flip, he's more than likely going to score. Just needs one opportunity. It's a corner pass for Achilles. The flip evades the banish, but what a pillar from Daftgrass. Make sure it doesn't go in quite yet, but Albion just capitalizes off the bouncing off the spiral. And it just, despite the defense from the side of Winterfall, it's not enough.
Yeah, just amazing follow-up. The 1-2 after the Magical Maelstrom has passed, and now it is Kilius sitting in the midfield with a pillar of Fiery looking to make something happen, but Kilius will fake out the portal pass, instead send it away. I Love Albion in position, is banished while dashing, and will not be able to get the flip out yet. But a KO once again. Fiery is getting KO'd too often. These power plays have been so good for the Ghosts. The pillar is there to back them up as well. Daftgrass will have to send it through the portal, but Kilius just maintains possession. I Love Albion loves Daftgrass, I guess, as he just hugs him off of the map. And now it is once again a power play for the Goats as... Wait a second, why are both barriers still up? The defense from Winterfall is holding.
And not even the goalies either. Both forwards managing to stall that out for Daftgrass to come back online. And now Fiery looking for an opportunity. Great banish from Daftgrass, but could not capitalize, could not get that core through. Kilius walking up was a big play there, using that Dancer's speed. Now both barriers are going to go down for the side of Winterfall in favor of Goats. And if Goats can score here, that might just end it all. Despite it not quite being match point yet, it's looking like the momentum is heavily in their favor.
Yeah, Kilius catches out on the flip, unable to get it so far, but the core is moving very, very quickly. I Love Albion trying to predict the bounce. Fiery has possession, gets the barrier. Winterfall need to score here. Daftgrass sends it up to Fiery. The pillar is there, but is not enough as the flame flurry comes down from Fiery, as we've seen so many times before. And Winterfall even it up. This could be going to a 0.5.
I mean, this match has been so neck and neck. Every single set has been incredibly tight, incredibly clutch for both teams. And a great pillar from Kilius actually going to find that clear through the corner portal, find that early barrier. However, one still stands for Winterfall, so it's not open for them yet. Mystic just trying to dribble off of this pillar for Kilius to set up, but Timeless is just going to make it last so long. He's forced to use the flip and he can't get it out, but finally the clear happens for Winterfall. And once again, it's just back in the corner. Kilius is doing an incredible job of keeping the offense stuffed in there, making sure the defense cannot go through, and now using the pillars as well. And Daftgrass just lets one slip by and his goal is open now.
Yeah, and whoa, what a flip angle directly to I Love Albion. That dash punch perfectly coordinated. One goal away are Goats from taking the series. And I gotta say, Kilius putting on a bit of a Kazan cosplay as Rune. That Twin Drive Prime Time, 4 buttons to press, really. Like, holy. Even if the cooldowns come back for Daftgrass so quickly, Kilius just has the buttons straight up. Like, no need to wait for cooldowns in the slightest. Daftgrass doesn't have a pillar here. Finally gets one, the Monumentalist pillar covering what seems like the entire barrier. But the KO differential. The GOATs are just consistently getting power play somehow. But as I say that, the barrier goes down. Huge opportunity as Fiery finds the strike. It is set 5.5.
Match point. And now both teams need this point. Goats wants to close out this set here, keep that momentum, and Winterfall wants to take it to a game 3, make this series last. But it's just going to come down to who's the better team. It's all or nothing right here. As Fudgy goes for the flip for the second barrier, can't quite seem to find a great defense from Daftgrass there, now with a flip of his own. And great pillars as well. The hot shot finally coming through, despite needing to wait for the cooldowns. They're so short, he always has enough of them. And now that Monu pillar is going to do a good job of keeping the offense going, and the portals are as well. But great read from Fudgy Waffles on the play there. The pillars are going to be forced, and the flip is going to be forced as well. And that weird interaction there between the pillar and the portal forces it through. But the offense continues for the side of Winterfall, actually.
Oh, but that banish is burned for Daftgrass to try and put a halt, to try and buy some cooldown time back. But I Love Albion is approaching, is trying to stall out this pillar. Fudgy Waffles gets the pass and almost gets the window between the two pillars. But Daftgrass is putting up one again and again. Kilius is walled off the top side as now the overtime portals are approaching. Fiery does get the barrier, and this is a huge opportunity for Winterfall as the GOATs are scrambling to defend. Fiery has it, but the flip will deflect it away for now. I Love Albion trying to get in position, but the portals are there to send it away yet again. Daftgrass is there as well. Fudgy Waffle sending it to the bottom side, looking for the barrier from that side. I Love Albion gets it, but the pillar will save it. The flip will be burned for the KO. Striker advantage, pass up, down, and the GOATs will take the series in a 2-0.
What an incredibly clutch play there from Goats, especially on the defense. Kilius holding it down as long as he possibly can. Eventually, Fudgy and Apalme will score, and they do. What a match and what a series.
Yeah, that last match is what you want to see when you click on to the stream for the North American Strikers League. It was close. The KOs were all over the place, but in the end, the GOATs just were more consistent. And also they had the better rune build. But
I will say, I think a huge difference. Look at the 11 KOs coming out from the side of Apalme. Despite Fiery having an insane build for that, he still outperformed, and the damage too. I think that could have been a large difference maker, though Fiery did have 10 goals, was playing out of his mind whenever he got those opportunities to score. But it's as you said earlier in the match, right? Goats finding those KOs, finding those power play opportunities, was able to net them so many more scoring opportunities, and Kilius just had less stress on his hands on a very stressful map for a goalie.
yeah, and especially so valuable to have a little bit more time to stall out when you have that prime time twin drive build. Your cooldowns just keep coming back as long as you have like a little bit of breathing room. And basically Winterfall had to face an infinite pillar rune with Timeless, so yeah, definitely not a fate that I would wish upon my worst enemies, I gotta say. But we got to see the portal map finally. We got to see the gates of Obscura, and well, it definitely is a map.
Personally, I would rather not see it again, to be quite frank with you. But they definitely put on a show for us anyway, despite the chaos, despite everything. The quality of play was still there. That is what you come for when you come to an NASL stream.
Yeah, and well, as the replays and that 1-2 play at the end was so clutch. Like, Kilius was holding for what seemed like forever. Fudgy and Apalme were like, okay, I got you. And then managed to do it in the end. But that'll be it for us, FemBison. Anything you want to shout out before we head to a straight break, before we head to the analyst desk?
Not really. Support Vesti and Slot. They do, specifically the TOs and the organizers do so much work. I just cast, but the amount of work that gets put into the competitive scene here is incredible. Please support them, and yeah, I'll see y'all later.
All right.